Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Alec. Welcome back to the show. Today, I'm back with our guest for this week, Jack Black. Jack, how you doing today, my man? You're looking good.
Fantastic. Feeling good. I've been wearing the same t-shirt all week. It's starting to get a little stanky.
Well, I mean, that sounds like a personal problem. You should go do something about that. Well, today we're playing three questions with Alec. Jack, I'm going to ask you three very important questions. But before we get started, I want to give a special shout out to Spirit Halloween. I appreciate all the great things they do for Shriners Hospitals for Children. Go to them for all your Halloween essentials. Jack, let's get started. Three questions. Let's go. Question number one. What's one of the biggest mistakes you made in your life, and what did you learn from?
I was supposed to do a play back in high school. I was like 16 years old, and a friend of mine at school wrote this play, and we were going to do it. And I backed out at the last minute because I was really nervous that people weren't going to like me in the show, that I wasn't going to do a good job. And I always regretted it because, in retrospect, looking back on it, I was like, that could have been hilarious. It was just my fear of failure that stopped me. And so I learned an important lesson that whenever I get a feeling like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to do that, I don't think, I have to ask myself, are you not doing it because you're afraid of failure? And if that's the reason, then maybe you should take the plunge. I do ask myself that a lot. And I do more often than not, if I figure out that I'm just afraid of failure, I'll take the leap of faith and I'll give it a try.
How do you apply that kind of experience in your life today?
Well, if a role comes around that I'm like, ooh, I've never played that before. I don't know if I'm going to do a good job with that. I think I'm going to pass. I'll ask myself, wait a second. Is this something that I could actually grow from and learn from? Because sometimes those scary projects are actually things that are good for you as an artist to explore, uncharted terrain of your soul.
Oh, so you can't see this, but I can?
Question number two. If you could go back in time and give younger Jack Black some advice, what would it be?
I would say to younger Jack Black, have fun. And that sounds simple and obvious, but it's not. Sometimes we forget to just have fun, and we spend so much time being stressed and working so hard and worrying. Sometimes you just got to take a deep breath and go, I'm just going to have fun with it and see what happens.
What's one thing that you do to always have fun and just it kind of relaxes you? What's your favorite fun thing to do?
Well, I like to follow my love and acting and music. I love the arts,
Yeah.
and so when I get creative with my partner in Tenacious D, I have a band, Tenacious D, and we write a song. There's nothing more fun than that, just jamming and like putting on a show in front of an audience, no matter how small. I did not mean to blow your mind. When we first started off, we'd play like a coffee house. There's literally like two people in the audience. The most fun you can have. Doesn't matter. If it's a million people, if it's one person, same kind of fun.
Question number three. What's one of your favorite quotes and why?
I love this quote from a Chinese philosopher. Oh, did I just spit? I just gleeked a little bit.
Man, it's
a Chinese philosopher named Lao Tzu. He said, "The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." And I think what he means is that when you start a project, or when you're like, oh my God, looks like it's gonna be so hard. Write a book. I can't write a book. That's too hard. It's gonna take too long. You just begin. Don't think of the whole project. Just think of that first step. It's like, I'm just gonna write whatever comes to the top of my head for a page, and then before you know it, a year has gone by, and you've written the greatest novel of all time. That's not an example that I actually have experienced. I've never written a book. But that's what came to mind. But any kind of big thing that you would like to achieve, it starts with little tiny steps, tiny baby steps. Makes the challenge a lot easier.
For sure. I totally understand what you're saying. You know, I'm in a wheelchair, and taking the first step is hard for everyone, including me. But, you still got to get past the first step so that you can walk. Unfortunately, that's all the time we got for today. Special shout out to Spirit Halloween for supporting this episode. Shout out to Shriners Hospitals for Children for making this all happen. They're good people doing good things regardless of their family's ability to pay. You can check them out down in the link below. And we'll see you all very soon. Peace!